and welcome back. This is the beautiful little do-it-yourself project that we will be working on today. A beautiful and convenient way to store some of your most favorite items or even just some practical ones. If you would like to see how we did it, please stay tuned. This project is super easy to do and it requires just a few supplies, most of which you probably already have around your home. The first thing that you will need is some cotton rounds or cotton balls, and actually you will need both of these for this project because we're going to fill our jar with the cotton balls when we're all finished. But in order to clean the outside of the jar, I find that the cotton rounds actually do a little bit better and easier job. These I picked up at the Dollar Tree for just $1. The cotton balls you can pick up anywhere and probably already have them in your home. And you will also need some alcohol to clean the sticky part of the sticker off of your jar before using it. You can use any alcohol that you probably already have around your house. You will also need some type of jar or container, and preferably one that has a screw on top. This particular one here is a St. Ives facial scrub that we have now finished, and we've gotten the jar all cleaned out and ready, and that is what we are going to use for ours, but any container will work for you. You will also need a pair of scissors. And of course, to make it blinged out, you will need some sheets of self-adhesive gems. These particular ones we did pick up at Dollar General. They are just $1 a sheet there. So let's go ahead and get started. In order to get started, we want to go ahead and make sure whatever container we are using, of course, is empty. And we want to make sure that it is good and washed and cleaned out if we're going to use this for cotton balls, especially because you want your cotton balls to remain somewhat sterile. The next thing that we need to do is begin to remove any kind of labels that your jars may have. You may be using a jar that doesn't have a label on it, but if you're using one, then you just want to begin to peel. Now, just a suggestion here, it is really not good, ladies, to use your fingernails as tools. So if you can find a razor knife or anything else that'll help you get this started besides your fingernails, would actually be better. But we just want to go ahead and peel our label off of there. Now, the thing about it, when we take off labels that have a self-adhesive on the back, it does leave some sticky residue. And the best way to remove that is to take your cotton pad and a little bit of alcohol. Make sure that that is saturated pretty well, and then we just want to go along the outside anywhere that sticky adhesive was. And you may have to do this for a couple of minutes, just applying some good pressure to make sure that it is all loosened and removed off of there. If for some reason you have one of the adhesives that is a little stubborn, you may want to try some nail polish remover, but alcohol seems to work just fine on most of those adhesives. And I do suggest that after you get the initial film off, that you would hold the container this way and go along all of the outside edge just to remove any oil residues that your fingers may have left behind. You do want a good, clean surface to begin sticking on your gems. Now, the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and get our gems prepared and ready, and this is how the sheet comes out of the package. You will peel off this clear film on the back, and the adhesive is already on there, but it does already come all together in just one sheet. So we want to take our scissors and just begin to cut our rows to separate them apart. And a jar this size, I am going to guess, should not take any more than 3 rows of our gems. That's how many we'll go ahead and get prepared. And if for some reason it takes more than that, we can always cut off a few more. Now at this this stage of our project, if you really like your lines to be precise and you want to make sure that it is absolutely even as you apply your gems around your container, you may want to have a tape measure close by. That way you can use a pencil and just make you some light little marks around your container to kind of guide you as you are applying your gem strips. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to eyeball this because I am going to actually use the rim of my jar as my guide. But you can do it either way. All right, now it's time to take our little gem strips and just begin removing the back. As you can see, these right here just come with a clear backing. The white part right there is the adhesive strip. So if you happen to be using a clear container, you do want to take that into consideration and choose possibly a different type of gem sheet. But since our container is white, this is going to work just fine. Once we get that plastic strip off of there, it is time to begin applying our strips. Just be careful that you do not touch the top with your fingers reapplying the oil that we just cleaned off. So handle it as carefully as you can. And you just want to pick a starting point. Like I said, I am going to use the tip of my container and come down just below where the natural ridge of that container stops, and use that as my guide just to begin applying the strip all the way around, following the curve of our container. Just want to give those a good press, making sure that adhesive sticks nice and well. And then it is time to go ahead and start our second strip. And we are going to just butt that right up to the first one, making it look just as though it is one long line of gems. So we just start that process over again. Now, before we get ready to apply our third strip, I am just going to lay this up here with the plastic backing still on it to give myself a good measure. And it looks like mine's going to stop about right here. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and just trim off this excess, and then this last strip should fit on just perfectly. Now this is what it looks like with the one strand just around the top of it, just kind of sleek and simple. However, after we have gotten these gems applied to this, my son has so accurately pointed out that this looks just a little bit too plain for dear old mom. So we are going to go ahead and add another row around the bottom, and I'll show you the idea that I have come up with it that way. Now, before we get going with the bottom row, let me just point out to you that because of how the gems were, and because we cannot cut the gems in half with our scissors, there is a slight gap right here in mine. So I want to make sure that when I apply this bottom row that I begin where I began the top row, so that when I get done, the same gap will be in the same spot, so that that will be in the back. Now, this is what it is looking like so far, and it has definitely added some more bling and beginning to look a little bit more like mom. Now, here are the couple of ideas that I had from this point. Number one, you could take some of the new chalkboard labels that you can find at Dollar Tree, and you could apply one of the smaller ones right here and label what is in your jar if you are wanting to make multiples of these so that you can remember what is in the jar. Or you could also add that label to the top so that when you put it on, if it's down in your luggage, if you're traveling with it, you could more easily see it before you pull it out of your bag. However, I am not going to do that and put a label on mine. Instead, I am going to take these gems and just begin placing individual ones kind of around the center of our container. what I am going to do, and I do realize that I did not measure any of these out, and so they're all, you know, just uneven or whatever, and I was going to do the design just all the way around, but I think it might get a little jumbly. So instead what I'm going to do is kind of make this diamond pattern on every other row, leaving the middle here blank, and let's see what that looks like. And if it doesn't look too gaudy, then we may come on back in and put one in between each section. We'll just play it by ear and see what happens. And now there we go. You can see our little diamond designs all the way around the jar, which is just really pretty and really feminine and really blinged out. And now you could get creative here. You could go back in the center maybe with a clear gem to make it look more like a rhinestone. You could add some more in between each of these to add just a lot more bling, or you can go all the way back to the way we did it at the beginning and just leave your top row, maybe even leave both and put that label on that I suggested for you. But now it is time to go ahead and stuff it with our cotton balls. And now we're ready to go ahead and seal it up. And this is going to be beautiful sitting on a bathroom counter, on a vanity top, wherever you want to put it. It also would be very convenient for travel, so your cotton balls don't end up all inside of your makeup bag. And you could even add a few more jewels to the lid if you were to choose. But that is our simple and easy do-it-yourself for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and if you happen to go ahead and give this do-it-yourself a try, make sure if you post it online anywhere that you tag me, because I certainly would love to see how yours turns out. We'll see you in the next video.